North Tarrant Express is a way to enhance the mobility in a very major urban congested corridor that almost 200,000 people use every single day, and making it more efficient, making it more cost-effective, and making it more user-friendly, I guess, to the folks who are having to endure the 200,000 cars a day traffic.
The environment was kind of like a dark cloud for probably a decade or so prior to the project being announced.
That was the parking lot. 820 in our city was a parking lot, and every road leading to it was a parking lot once we got there.
We were totally under gridlock for hours a day. And we're talking, 150 to 200,000 cars a day. All we're doing is, with this gridlock, is keeping the people away from their families.
We've lost some major developments here because of congestion and because of unreliability as far as how much time it's going to take you to get from point A to point B.
We look at investing in environments where we see economic growth and population growth and employment growth.
Businesses have to have people to be able to get around. You have to be able to get to and from. And when you don't have congestion, that's when you have good economic development.
15 years ago, you would avoid North 820 and you would avoid Airport Freeway. Incidents, creating unreliability. We predict this particular project will now become the most reliable project in the Dallas-Fort Worth region.
This gives us that reliability back. It keeps the roads open so that people can continue to develop and the economy of this area can continue to grow.
The Regional Transportation Council of the Council of Governments and TxDOT and all of the cities that make up North Texas have been thinking for years, how do we more effectively mobilize people in North Texas?
Mobility is incredibly important, especially for a growing region like we have right now, because it's only going to get more and more populated, and we need more and more transportation mobility. And right now we have to do some creative things, some innovative financing in order to put these projects on the ground. But in the long run, the DFW region is going to be a whole lot better for that.
The transportation planners, the guys over at COG, TxDOT themselves, and a lot of other real smart folks who have been transportation planners in Texas for a long time, they figured out that we got to figure out how to put in better highway systems that will move more people without the cost of having to build big ring roads around our metropolitan areas. Let's figure out how to use the inner workings, the highway system that we have within the Metroplex, expand it, rebuild it, make it more effective, and use that to better mobilize people across 16 counties in North Texas.
I don't think many projects has been built having 200,000 cars flowing throughout the corridor and having to keep them flow without disruption at all.
With the coordination with the cities, the coordination with the utility owners, right-of-way owners, TxDOT, it was critical to make everybody understand that things had to happen at a certain pace and that we didn't have any time to lose.
The biggest challenge on the North Tarrant Express project was probably getting everyone on the same page. You have 6 different cities, the client, the developer, and the contractor, all striving towards the same goal, and to get everyone on the same page with regard to construction was a challenge.
For this project, this was about a $2.6 billion project. We had $573 million. So we partnered with the private sector to bring private equity to the project. And then it was a design-build delivery mechanism so that they did the design and construction by the same team, so you could take advantage of that working together to improve things like the design and the handling of traffic during construction.
In many cases, the public is used to our sequential type of construction. They see us start here, and then we progress to the next phase and the next. In this type of project, the entire corridor was under construction, and they weren't used to seeing this type of construction. And not only that, they weren't used to seeing it move so quickly. They thought, we're going to be under construction for 10 years, aren't we? And we said, No, not 10 years, half of that time, or less if it all goes well.
You began to see a bridge being torn down in Bedford. They started moving barriers and beams in down at Beach Street in North Fort Worth and Haltom City. There's been some pretty incredible processes of the construction as this project has gotten started. But getting it started, making it real, showing people that it was happening, that was probably one of the toughest challenges.
We had a contract to get this project built in a little over 4 years, and then this design builder built it even quicker than that, 3.5 years.
With 6 different cities, it makes it fairly challenging, and then you add in, not only the client, but the developer and the contractor. There's a lot of hands in the pot, and being able to work through a concern or a potential problem fast so that we can seek resolution and do it all with a collaborative effort. I think that's probably one of the greatest accomplishments on the project, is that we were able to overcome all of those challenges and bring that project to fruition 9 months ahead of schedule.
All the main lanes are going to be rebuilt, and right in the middle is where we're going to put these things called managed lanes or Texpress lanes, and those are going to be the toll lanes. Those are the commuter lanes, which is part of the network that's being created through North Texas that's going to mobilize that guy from Weatherford that's going to Addison or Plano, or the person that's coming from Plano to downtown Fort Worth or Arlington. These are the lanes that are going to help them mobilize and move from point A to point B. The businessman who works in downtown office in Fort Worth, if we could guarantee them a trip to the airport, 17 minutes, then they're going to pay the pennies that it costs them to get on those managed lanes to get to DFW.
People really like to pay for that added value. I mean, we're giving them time. We're getting calls from people saying that they are saving now 25 minutes in their commute. So the reality is that even if in Tarrant County there's not many toll roads, the fact that there's a choice and that we have the general purpose lanes outside are still there. They are in way better shape than they used to be.
The driver is not locked down into having to take a toll lane unless they want to. So they can stay on a free lane, or at the heaviest traffic time of the day, if you want to move a little quicker, you can move over into the toll lanes.
And this is one of the few situations where you've got free lanes right there next to the toll lanes. So there'll always be free lanes they can use. So that really should be. And as what we found is with the congestion, with the lack of funding we have for transportation, the only way we can expand roads and expand that capacity is through tolls.
The beauty of it is the fact that we are adding capacity, but we're able to manage it. So there's always going to be a way to go through this corridor without congestion, which, if you think about it, when you just add 2 or 3 lanes to a corridor, in 10 years it's going to be full again. The fact that they are tolled, and they are tolled with the dynamic pricing, is going to make it sure for the people that they will always have this congestion-free alternative.
We have a state-of-the-art electronic toll collection that is not only going to be able to collect tolls without having people stopping, but it's also going to be able to provide us information on the user so that we can improve our service.
Our story is they need to get a toll tag. People need to have a toll tag because it reduces the cost of using all of these roadways. I believe when people see the advantage of the managed lanes on the NTE project, they're going to be really happy with the mobility, the improved mobility that it brings to the region.
And I mean, nobody likes to pay a toll, but as you've heard so many times from our politicians, from our city leaders, there's not enough money to build the roads that we need in North Texas. And that's because of a couple of reasons. People are moving in here in droves. People want to live in North Texas, and that's a good positive thing. But in order to keep up with that growth and to maximize that growth while maintaining good mobilization of motorists, as well as a quality of life for those folks that move here, then we got to do something.
If you are willing to stop in a Starbucks and drink a coffee, for the same price, you are going to be able to get home or to an appointment on time. And it's your option. You can do it or not. And I do believe that people are going to be willing to use that option, that choice.
All of the highways that you have that intermingle throughout the North Texas area, This network is going to be woven into each one of those highways so that we mobilize people who want to move through or go around, if you will, the North Texas area.
One of the lessons learned for us from a communication standpoint is that if there is a void, someone will fill that information void for you. We found it very important to be able to tell our own story so that we could control that message and make sure that everyone were aware of construction closures. People want to know where they're going. They don't want to be delayed. They want to be able to arrive on time or early, and if you're impacting that daily schedule, sometimes we weren't the most favorite people on their list. But the more information that we could give them, it really helped them understand what we were doing, and they appreciated the fact that we were reaching out.
There's always some difficulties. You're always going to have inconveniences. We knew it was going to be tough for the last 2 or 3 years. People have endured it, and they've done a good job of letting us know what's going to happen.
That boots on ground communication proved to be key. Those that lived and worked along the corridor on a daily basis became our routine friends, and we were able to give them a little bit more information so that they could plan ahead, since they were in the midst of construction on a daily basis.
Our citizens, they put up with it. They saw people working, they saw progress, they felt that something was happening, so they supported it.
Ultimately, they love to hear that contractors are faster than expected. So TxDOT is very happy about that. Not only TxDOT, the long-term suffering stakeholders, all the small businesses along the corridor, I think that they will be very happy that we have finishing 9 months before schedule, and it's good for everyone.
You also have a lot of businesses and developers that are looking for sites on brand new roads and brand new corners that they never considered before.
The new roadway is just, it's blowing us up. Our economic development is through the roof. Not only new businesses, but some of the existing businesses.
This project not only rebuilds one of the most congested highway corridors in the state of Texas. The NTE, as importantly, in my judgment, has created more than 2,200 jobs in the region over the past 5 years.
As this expands, more businesses come in. So we're very, very proud of what we've got going on, and our citizens are tickled pink.
The communities along this corridor, the public officials who had the courage and the tenacity to stick with the project in the face sometimes of some tremendous odds. It's been extraordinary to watch that. The professionals at TxDOT, the work that they were able to do, it's really been a pleasure and a privilege to be part of it.
It's probably going to be a landmark for this country. It's going to be an example for any other state to follow.
Your achievements today have captured the attention not just of Texas, but the rest of this country. And I can tell you that innovation has also captured the imagination across continents and is inspiring new thinking in how communities and regions can flourish. Not only has our partnership been committed to providing innovative solutions, but we're also committed to safety. This $2 billion project has achieved an incident rate of only 1/3 the national average. This is a truly remarkable record of safety and efficiency, all while delivering this infrastructure almost 9 months ahead of schedule. Let me tell you, this is exactly why we decided 5 years ago to invest in this endeavor, because we believe in the extraordinary potential of this economy, particularly in the state of Texas. And together we will be providing long-awaited traffic congestion relief that will ensure that this region remains the engine of growth and will continue to be highly recognized across the rest of the United States for years to come.